should be able to hear the players as well if they do a little hello.
Bonjour.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. So welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition tonight. We're playing our campaign Fables Among Titans. We haven't played it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've been off 2 weeks. So.
Been off 2 weeks for it does indeed feel like a year. Unfortunately, we do not have Mr. AJ playing Love of Delphine tonight. So you will have an out to lunch for those of you that keep asking me when I put the out to lunch sign up as if they're just gone for 5 minutes and returning with actual lunch. No.
AD, you're very echoey.
Very echoey.
Have you got both your sounds on?
No.
Are you sure?
How about now? Am I still echoey? Sound like you're in an arena. That's where I belong, Ruffworx. Perfect. There's a good chance I had both sounds on. Anyway, so I had to scroll down, right? The other one was at the bottom of the list.
That's safe.
So, yeah, it's been 2 weeks. This is session 18, I've been informed. We are going to be continuing on with this lot. Social media, we'll get that out of the way first. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Just look for Heavyweight Gaming and you will find us and you will see all the things that we post about. It's really riveting stuff. If you want to follow all the previous shows that we've done right up, like session 17 previously to this, you can do so on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Heavyweight Gaming, and because we can now be found by that lovely search, you'll go straight to our channel and you can watch all our stuff that we get up to previous. They won't be, people have asked, the 48-hour stream that we did last weekend is not going to be put on YouTube, as some of them are 21-hour long videos and such. But you do have 60 days to watch them or go through and find bits that you particularly watched, liked, etc. Feel free to clip and share. We're all for that. So yeah, thank you very much for that. We do have a Patreon page. If you wish to jump on the Patreon page and throw a few dollars, it's in dollars because of the setup, a month at the channel, then amazing, and we will put it to good use. You will also be rewarded with an e-zine full of 5th edition compatible lore, feats, subclasses, everything to do with 5th ed really, and the lore is all flavoured towards the world of Colossus, our homebrew world that we are playing our campaigns in, including Pathfinder that we play on a Saturday. So
Are we going to have a mod off now?
Apparently.
Oh no,
Wow.
look at that. Wow.
Same Monday.
We'll just let Sawdust and Mel sort that out. But
Yeah.
a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, Ruffworx Creative, a very talented woodworker and leatherworker. If you go to Facebook and put in Ruffworx Creative with an X, you'll find their Facebook page, check out their photos, and you'll just see some incredible work being done there. And future plans will be shared. The carbon dice wooden trays, there we go, they will be on their way to their lovely winners this week, as I decided to do feck all last week. So yeah, so that's that. What's the other sponsor? Ashana, a very, very, very amazing, gifted, talented, I love her, glass crafter. She does other things on her stream, but the majority of it is glass crafting. She unfortunately does stream at the same time as us. So she, you know, watch us and then go check her out later when we're ready. But yeah, she's a very, very talented glass crafter and does lots of little glass miniatures, figurines and stuff like that, and they're so cool. And we're going to be getting some from her. I say this a lot, but we're just waiting for the world to calm, just calm, and then we'll get lots of little draconic dice protectors made out of glass. So we'll throw them your way as well. Alright, that's that. That's the sponsors, that's social media. Do I have anything else to announce? Not right now. That's cool. Yeah, right. So, any of you lot got up to say? No?
Gravy.
Well played. Well played. There's a point of inspiration. You may have a free reroll this evening. There's Andrea. Well, oh, bits. There you go. If you donate 200 bits to the this show in the next couple of hours, the party will get a free reroll that they may use on any of their rolls, not on mine. They can only hold 5 at any one time, and they must use them this session, otherwise they are wasted. So there you go, 200 bits. Right.
I have taken that inspiration. You're not taking that back. That's now on my sheet.
Well, that's how giving inspiration. Anyway,
Just in case you were messing. Just in case.
I don't mess when it comes to gravy. All right, it's a very serious subject matter. So, as a recap, this lot are sailing away from the town of Malran, where it all went a bit tasty. Lots of stuff started happening. The Sapphire Dragon attacked.
Sapphire attacked.
Sapphire attacked. Ari nearly died. Sapphire nearly died. A few of them nearly died. Delphin nearly died. Small child took a very large wyvern to the face. They got on the
Siblings
ship.
were fine.
They got on the Blackwing and they started to sail away. They had the Orcam whale nearby.
Oh, we also didn't do our intros, but I'm presuming y'all know.
I'll get to that. I'll get to the intros. I'm on a floor, lad. I'm on a floor.
Sorry.
They're on the Blackwing, the Orcam whale's behind them, and the Wandering Leaf of Vey was further across the estuary. After a brief conversation and some magical messaging, they discovered that Lady Akiku had passed. The one responsible was, or claimed to be, Gabriel, and they are heading back to Vey for a large funeral. The party chose to let that be and stay on the Blackwing. As the Blackwing was sailing down the southern coast, past the province, so into the waters of the House of Tor, they were slowly, not surrounded, but almost honour guarded through the channels by several House of Tor ships. It was at this point, before they reached the waters of the House of the Forged, that several aquatic creatures, hybrid humanoids, approached the Blackwing ship via the sea, and above them were several hybrid avian creatures. And some sort of blood ritual occurred. The blood hit the deck, rained down upon them, and the globulets of blood formed into bloody elemental-esque humanoid creatures and attacked them. As the party took them on, and a few of the NPCs, poor Gareem, they got knocked to the floor, was healed up, the party split. They ran down to the below decks after. Well, they didn't actually run down to the below decks first. Delphin swan dived off the crow's nest into the sea. Kesvion followed him into the sea, and they came into the bottom of the ship that this acidic blood had eaten away to the wood and was now sinking the ship. Once in the below decks, they had a scoot around and they discovered a very large blood elemental creature wading its way through the below decks. In good old-fashioned D&D style, the fighter ran at the baddie, followed by the wizard, as it always goes. Moments later, Ari and Zandria joined the fight, and after some pretty stonky rolls, they managed to put the blood elemental on its ass into nothingness, but they were now on a ship sinking.
And I can't swim.
You can't swim. So, I believe you're all still below decks, or did you run up to the top? So
No, I think we're below decks.
we left it straight off the fight, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So straight off the back of the fight, we will... Sapphire, during your meditation... In fact, before we go there, so we've got Sean playing Sapphire.
Really now?
Oh god!
Martial streamers.
Organization, the itinerary.
Sean played Sapphire, Luke played Kesvion, Mel played Ari, and Zandria played Jade. There you go. Jade played Zandria.
A dark
That is
time,
correct.
Whoa! Kulu, Kerry. Alright, that one job is a lie.
The darkest timeline.
So, 3, 2, 1, you're in. Sapphire, in fact, I lied. Sapphire, give me a roll. I'm all over.
We've been off for 2 weeks and it's all gone shit.
How do we D&D?
What are we playing? What are we actually playing?
We're playing Pathfinder.
Pick a card, any card.
Goldfish.
So,
Okay,
do
cool.
not
What
pass
am I
score.
rolling?
Do not pass 200. An Arcana check.
Ah.
Also, woohoo bits!
Whee! We've got a reroll.
Clearly, someone's like, they'll need those tonight.
I think we're going to need. I got a 4 for my partnership.
Thank you, Elmer. You got a 4?
I got a 4.
Okay.
No,
I have a
can't
whole
reroll.
+0 for Raccoon.
Lovely. You sense a disturbance in the force. Your amulet that senses echoes feels cold and doesn't have the normal fuzzy warmth to it.
Well, that is going to break me out of meditation.
And then all hell breaks loose, Sapphire, as the ship comes under attack. You peek out of your room and you can see above the ship several bird-like creatures essentially bursting into, as if a water balloon filled with blood has exploded above the ship and rained down on the deck. You see Dalefin leap from the crow's nest, catch one of the birds, spiral down to the deck, hit the rail of the deck, spinning off into the water. You see Kesfion, obviously this all happens in like 12 seconds. You see Kesfion, Ari and Zandria dealing with the blood elemental creatures on the deck with a few of the other passengers. You've seen several of the dwarven druids from the Orcan Whale flying over, grabbing a few of the crew and flying back, while some of the crew are grabbing spears and such and helping fight against these elementals. You notice Kesfion dive over the side of the water, and then a couple of, maybe say 30 seconds later, this is while you're gathering your things and like rushing out to join the fray, Ari and Zandri have gone below decks. So you are currently on deck. The last thing you saw was Ari heal Garina, the Soul Forged from the House of the Forged, who is now currently stood resting against one of the main masts as the ship is tilting heavily to one side as if it is sunk beneath the water. Thank you for the bits. You've got 2 rerolls. So yes. So that is where you are right now, Sapphire, on deck with Garina in front of you, and the rest you know to be either off the side of the rail or beneath decks. Over to Kess, Ari and Zandria. Dalefin is breathing heavily.
I just look pointedly at Ari. Just look at Ari, just like, don't you have a thing for this now?
While you're all doing that, I'm gonna take a potion out of my bag and give it to the wizard.
Good idea. Wait.
And then fire him over my shoulder because this ship's going down.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Like, I'll make sure he's like got it down and hasn't choked on it, and then he's just going straight over. Fireman's carry, out we go.
Oh, Dalefin.
Yep.
Cool. You feel a wheezing in your ear as you're like fireman carrying out.
It's not a good sound.
So you all rush up the stairs.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. You can hear the snapping and hissing of wood as the acidic blood mixing in with the seawater is doing its job. As more wood breaks and is eaten through, and you'll feel a violent lurch in the ship as you're rushing up the stairs to the upper decks. Can you, all 4 of you, well 3 of you, give me dex saves? Cass at disadvantage as you're carrying a wizard.
That's valid.
Oh, no.
no.
Oh, well, I think we should be fine. 23.
So you're fine, Harry. Zandria doesn't look fine.
Oh no!
I'm gonna assume I trip over something with a 7.
Oh dear. Yep. Cass.
That was a 16 with disadvantage.
Ah, look at you. So Harry, as
I've got good decks.
as the ship
flip wizard up there though.
violently lurches, you essentially, as you're going up the stairs, the corridor of the stairway is narrow enough for you to slip, but then with both palms push out on either wall just to ready yourself. Literally, as you just keep running, you're like pat pat, and off you keep going. Kess, with Dalefin on your shoulder, you slip, but kind of maintain being like upright. Your core kicks in, and you're just like, hold the line, and you manage to hold Dalefin upright. You go into a bit of a crouch. Zandria, might as well have just run through a field of banana skins. As you two are pulling out the moves to stay on your feet, Xandria just goes up, and you hear a silence for a moment as there is no rushing footsteps through water, as Xandria is no longer in contact with the water and is in midair for a brief moment. Splash, crash, you turn, and Xandria is prone on the floor and has taken 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Oh shit.
Don't encourage my players to mount each other, Kerry. Just saying. They don't need that.
Well, the encouragement on the mounting.
Oh, I had just taken a drink. Oh my god.
Both.
Just for Kerry, I drank 2 litres of Vimto today, Kerry. Just Kerry will understand. So, you're prone, Xandria. The ship lurches and puts you on your ass.
Fantastic. Can I get up, please?
You can indeed. You have.
No, you lie there for the rest of the day.
Just lying there with like, I hate boats.
You carry on rushing up. What are you doing, Sapphire? You've got Garena in front of you. The Lord Romerick has been carried away already to the Oakham Whale. As has. There we go. Letters.
It'll be a fun session.
Jesus. As has Bruna, the Goliath, second mate of the ship.
So currently, Sapphire is unsure where the people are below deck, and he's worried about Daelathan because his amulet has gone kind of quiet. But he thinks currently his best bet is to pull out his Naginata and take a defensive stance near Galena.
Cool.
Just keep her safe while she's recovering from her injuries, and just kind of keep an eye around for people and look nervously at the water as he's terrified of water.
Give me a perception check. You're terrified of water. Xandria can't swim.
Wait, he's a cat.
He's a cat.
He's a lion though. Lions can swim.
They don't like it though. I got a 21 perception.
Right, cool. So as you're taking your defensive stance, Garena is leaning against the mast, and obviously the lurching is kind of throwing them off a little bit. But you see across the water to the Oakham Whale, there is arcane light, as if spells are being cast, but locally they're not going out against any enemy or target. But you can just see on the deck there is some sort of growing mass of white and green with elements of blue light growing and happening in that localized area.
Okay, that's interesting.
Boom, you 4 hit the top deck. You can see Sapphire Naginata are out in a protective stance near Garena. Delphins.
Have a quick glance around to see if like there's anything else plummeting from the sky trying to kill us.
Give me a perception check.
That is a 15.
15. So
Dark.
eastward towards the coast, you can see
Yep.
a heavy flock of winged creatures. From here, they look like birds, but you can assume that they're moving pretty fast, which you don't need to assume, but they're moving pretty fast in your direction. I will allow the assumption of they could be more of those bird-like creatures that were here a moment ago, bleeding all over the ship.
That's a valid assumption to make.
You see, just on the upper deck, you see a very large browny coloured owl land and just start nudging towards some of the other crew. And then another couple of owls, one golden feathers, one more snowy owl lands. And the snowy owl lands near you lot and just starts nudging you lot. Could easily carry 2 of you.
And none of us jumped
I mean,
at that chance.
you do you.
Who was?
Ari, Xandria, do you want to?
Yeah, everyone else. We need to get off the ship. Like 100% need to get off the ship.
Delphin and I'll take the next one.
I was gonna say, can I see like another bird coming in? Because if I can't see another bird coming in to grab the others, I'm obviously not gonna get on.
There is. What did I say? There's 3 owls. So right next to you is the snowy owl that could take 2 of you, and the golden owl is not far from you, kind of just looking around rather than nudging anyone that could take 2 of you. But the brownie one at the back has already carried a few of the crew away and is heading back towards the Oakenwell. So there's 2 large owls in front of you that can take 2 of you. So, well, 4 of you, you know what I mean.
Well,
Harry
five
will
of us.
take it.
So who gets on?
Harry will.
So Ari, you on Snowy or Golden?
Snowy, 'cause it's close.
You're on Snowy. Who else gets on Snowy? Snowy, if you're watching this.
Tess is just staring as Andrea's like, get on.
I'm staring Cass down like, I'm not leaving.
Can I
see you
grab
get on and
Sandria?
out.
Well,
You'll start like still while holding a wizard.
you hear a large crack as if one of the masts snaps and falls towards the deck. Can you all give me dexterity saves, please?
Oh shit! Oh no, dexterity.
Wait too long, kids.
You want me to roll at disadvantage again because I've got a wizard?
If you want to keep hold of him during the dive out of the way of the large log, yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
18.
17.
9.
Jesus, this was not.
19.
This is amazing.
Disadvantage.
Melanie
was
has got
falling.
this.
Right, let me.
Yeah, Sapphire with his shit roll is also. I'm going to say it's because he's trying to now make his way over to the rest of the party. He values their company more than he values Doreen's company.
Oh no.
His downfall.
So, Sapphire, what'd you get?
9. I have a +7 to my dex.
Oh my god.
My dex saves even. And I got a 9.
Kestrion?
Amazing.
19 with disadvantage. What were you doing, you giant cat?
Ari, what did you get?
18.
Panic, there's
Zandria?
water, panic.
17.
17, cool. So you 3 leap just anywhere on the deck as this large wooden mast smashes into the deck, splintering the planks, and you are fine. Whereas the 7-foot tabaxi, you will take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as it clips you, but doesn't land on you, just clips you and sprawls you across the deck.
How's Garina looking? Is she on a...
Let me have a look.
They're on a-
Garina immediately turns around the main mast that they are leaning against, and the mast that has broke actually hits that and slides down it and off to the side, and they are untouched by the falling mast, but they do look pretty rough. So Snowy Owl is sort of like making owl noises that I will not attempt. But Twit-Two.
Twit-Two, and Ari's like, is someone else getting on this owl with me, please? Guys.
Zandria, get on the owl.
As long as you're getting on the other owl.
I'm getting on the other owl.
Right, we'll go and get on the other owl.
Out.
I'm loading Delphin onto the other owl.
So Zandria and Delphin get on the golden owl, and Ari and who gets on the snowy owl? Who's on the snowy owl?
Snowy owl is... Ari and Zandria.
Ari and Zandria. Who's on the golden owl?
So far, Delphin.
Delphin. So I've still got 1 space on my owls for Sapphire and Guess. And Garina.
Sapphire,
and Garina.
as he's making his way over,
Sapphire
he's
is
kind of
getting
just
put on the other
expecting-
owl. Because
Sapphire is
you can't
expecting
swim.
Kess to go. Sapphire kind of takes up a defensive position to make sure that they're safe while they're getting on the owls. Go on!
You can swim?
Yeah, I can swim.
Oh, I am.
Look after Delphin. Get on.
Shit. Okay, fine. And he climbs on the owl and like clips his naginata back to his back and make sure that Delphin will stay on the owl.
Cool. So as you are both now, as both pairs are on the owls, it's a woof, and they take to the skies and they start heading across to the Orcan whale, which is a good minute flight. The ship isn't too far away from it. It's obviously been coming down with you down the southern coast. So you got about a minute's flight. So we'll say, what, 10 rounds? Kesvion.
The minute I notice that Kesvion is not on an owl, I'm gonna start losing my shit and start pulling at the owl to turn around.
No, Xandru, you need to get on the ship.
No, he's not on an owl.
You need to get on the ship.
He's still on a ship.
So, Kes, can you roll initiative, please?
Yep.
As will Garina.
No.
Oh no.
That owl is gonna be bald because I'm gonna plump over at his owl.
Don't pluck the druid!
Turn around!
As if Sandria didn't have an issue with Sapphire before.
So,
Killed my brother!
Kes, what did you get?
That's a whole 13.
Cool, Garina got a 10. And the creature behind you got 11. So, as the owls, they're going across the waters now. You sort of stood there, you look across to Garina, and on Garina's metallic wooden face, their jaw just sort of drops and their glowing eyes brighten as if in fear. And you turn around.
I love that for me.
As you turn around, you see one of these blood elemental creatures that are leaner, they're not as heavy set as the others, and there is an almost face-like, almost a human face to it, like beneath it. Give me a perception check.
Oh, all my good rolls came real early today because they're all gone now.
Uh-oh.
That's a whole 8.
Alright, cool. Yeah, you've got a blood elemental creature in front of you. So, you're quick off the mark. You go first.
Cool. I'm gonna try and hit it. Try being the operative word now, with how my dice are playing. Oh, thank God. Right, that is a 24 to hit.
24.
Yeah.
You see the.
I don't like that. I don't like that face.
I was working out some math. The elemental creature raises its arm dead fast, and you see an arcane shield appear in front of it as if it has cast the shield spell. And you just miss. In fact, you still hit. You just hit.
Okay, cool. I know what all of my superiority dice are going on tonight. Not dying.
That's right.
That is. We're going to hit it once, we'll make it worth it. So that is +3, 6, +5 is 11. That's 11 points of damage, including spending one of my superiority dice to make
Cool.
this one hit.
As you
worth
step
it.
forwards towards it, it's not far from you. The surprising thing is, you've no idea where it came from because it hasn't come from beneath deck. And you slice through it, and as you slice through it, it's as if you cut a chunk of the blood away, and you see a very expensive robe. The shoulder is decorated in a very expensive robe, like silk material, with a crimson colour to it. And then the blood reforms over it, encasing it.
Oh, I wish I wasn't stupid.
Are you doing anything with your... Oh, you've got... You attacked.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to keep slicing and dicing until...
AC 24 at the minute.
Don't hit it with that one. Into dice jail. Mel, have you touched my dice?
No. you got some dice shells there. Put it in dice jail.
You too can buy dice gel from Bardic Inspiration. And jail the dice that you bought from Bardic Inspiration.
That's that was a 1 and a 23.
Oh, a 1? Ah, so your second attack was what? The 1 or the 23? So the second attack was a natural 1. Cool, can you give me a Constitution save, please? On that second attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice that I rolled for the third one though, because that was nicer. Okay, that's 22.
Cool. You, as on your second hit, as you absolutely fumble the strike, you feel your fist graze against the blood, and you feel it cling at you, like it's sticky and sap-esque. And then as you pull your hand away, for a very split second, you see your own blood being pulled from your hand, but you rip your hand away before it actually feeds on any of your life force. And your second attack was a 23, and it skitters across the arcane blue shield that was there.
23.
It's now the creature's turn. It will crouch, and then its hands move around in an arcane nature, similar to what you've seen when Dale casts a spell. And it will hit you with a firebolt for 18.
Yep.
Yep. Where are my d10s? Yeah. I can't find d10s. Jesus Christ, why am I playing?
Oh
this
no,
game?
you'll just need to use the smaller dice. I recommend 4s. Yes.
Are they the ones with 12 numbers on?
They're the little pointy ones.
You take
that hurt when you
13
stand on
points
them.
of fire damage as a firebolt hits you from this creature. Bear in mind it's stood in
That could have
melee.
been much worse.
And can I see what's going on?
No.
You will do on your next bit. That'll be its score for now.
I can't count. Right.
Garena will come wobbling over, bless them, and attempt to punch the creature. Oh, I've still got the shield. So misses, but the first fist, bang! You see it hit the arcane shield, and you can see cracks in the arcane shield. And with their second attack, they miss as well. They just weakenly throw two fists, two iron and wood created fists at the arcane shield, and it blocks both. But it's now back round to you, Kess. But before you do, you lot, as you're flying away over the water, you can see, as you just look back, you can see Kess engaged in a leaner version of the blood elemental creatures that you fought before, and Garena aside him, sort of crouched over in a bit of pain. The owl squawks and hoots, but will not divert from its path.
How, if I like sort of swivel my body round, not round, but like if I turn like that and look behind me, how far away are we from the ship?
How far? Give me a sec.
A scale of 1 to 120 feet. Are we the warlock from the ship?
What do you mean?
What's that? 60, probably. You are 120 feet away.
Eldritch Blast.
Cool.
It hits Kess, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Hang on.
So roll.
I would like to send a message to Kess when I can, but I'll let you. do
Okay,
this.
Zandria, roll your Eldritch Blast. AC 24.
Not 20! Yes! I needed that because I've got a +5, so I could only get a 19 or a 20. So 25 to hit.
Cool, hits.
Cool. So let's see. Eldritch Blast does 2 beams at 1d10. So do I roll what, 2d10s or just 1d10 and then obviously everything's doubled because not 20.
Yep.
So I need 1d10. Which one is a d10 again? This one.
See, it's not that easy, is it? See?
Which one looks like the d10? So it gets. Do I get any bonuses to that? No. So it gets 8 times 4. Because it's 2 beams normally plus 2 beams for having nat 20. And it is also. It is repelled 10 feet away in a straight line.
Cool.
So 8, 16. I'm crap at my 8 times table.
It's fine, I've done it. So
I'm glad because I ain't.
An Eldritch Blast hits the blood elemental creature, and you see splashes and chunks of the blood fly off, and beneath it you can see this very expensive crimson robe and the sign of a House of Tor with the 2 bullhorns beneath as the blood, less thick but now reforms in those gaps and again encases whoever is in front of you. And they get and they sort of anime skid away from you 10 feet. Ari, you wanted to do something?
Send a message because it's the only thing that's in range. Yay!
Your sister's going to kill
The
you
owl
and
is
come
flying
back
120
over.
feet around, just so you know.
The owl is flying what?
120 feet around, so just so you are aware.
What?
The owl.
You're 100.
So you're 120 feet in the first round away. So round 2, you will be 240 feet away. Round 3, 360.
Okay, well in that
etc.
case, he wants to get a message while he can then, because
Cool.
the range is 120 feet. Message to Cass of just get off that ship now.
You may respond to this.
As soon as we can.
The energy. The absolute energy gets us. Come on, I'm dealing with
He's
somebody.
busy!
They're just like, I can imagine phone on here like, just give me a minute, Harry, I'm just...
I'm on it. Look.
Gonna kill him.
Cool, your go, Cass.
Uh,
Give me a dexterity save as the ship lurches again and drops further into the sea. You're now at an angle where the ship... We're full on Titanic moments here.
That's a waste of a 20.
You're fine, you're fine. So,
But yeah.
the ship lurches again. Garina. Didn't get that 20. Garina slips and starts sliding towards the water. And the frothing bloody red where they're sinking. The ship is at an absolute angle now. So you are kind of leaning like heavy on your right foot, say with your left foot forward, just holding you back. The blood elemental creature seems to be stuck to the wood, as if some sort of spider climb spell is active on them.
What are the chances of me being able to get to Garina and get both of us over the side of the ship?
There's no well before you, where Garina's now slipping towards, it's just water with obviously a bit of acidic
I'm
blood.
mostly just trying
But
not to
back.
get into the really, like,
You
the
water.
cursed bloody churny stuff, as opposed to just the normal bloody churny stuff. If I can go to something like that, oh, that's just dead people, that's okay, as opposed to, those are cursed blood elementals. Gonna go swimming in that.
You could try and grab them and then push off the deck as it's at an angle and try and
I'm
leap.
gonna try and do that.
And try and leap over the bloody stuff. So give me a reflex. Give me a dexterity check just to see if you're quick enough to forego your turn to grab Garina and leap.
Just a straight up dex.
Yep, just to see if you're quick enough to realise that just to weigh up the odds and go, I can grab them or I can't grab them.
Yeah. So that is a 17.
Yep, you're more than quick enough to be like, fuck this, I'm gonna grab Garina. So you essentially start skidding down the deck of the ship towards the water. There are, for no apparent reason, but it looks cool, sparks of wood flying everywhere as you slide down. Special effects all out tonight. And you manage to grab Garina and kind of bear hug them, and then athletically leap to try and, using the ship as the ramp of the ship over the acidic blood. Give me an athletics check, please.
Yes, I do them good. I do them good.
I'm a strong boy.
Himbo powers engage. That was close. Right. So that is a 23, but it was
God dang.
very almost only a 7. But we got there, guys.
The numbers next to the good ones are not nice. So you manage to bear hug Garina, and then as you turn your body, just plant your feet mid, like slide, and push, and you leap over the timing it beautifully. You leap over the acidic blood and into the sea itself, and you can see that colouring difference, almost like there's an oil edge to it, all feeding on the ship, and then it is blue. And you leap across, splish splash. You and Garina hit the water and disappear beneath the surface. Coming up, you look back. That'll be your turn. The creature, you can see them. They just sort of walk about on the deck as the ship lurches, as it's sinking. It's a good nearly half sunk beneath the water, and they're just sort of stood there, pacing slowly, looking towards you and Garina, and fire another firebolt. Oh, that was nearly a 3. 22. I'll take that as a maybe. You take. Oh, that was rubbish actually. 9 points of fire damage.
That's okay. Why can I not count?
As
Like
they
everyone in this group.
as they fight, it's now Garina's turn, and they just in that gravelled voice.
Garina can swim.
They just turn to you and go, swim, and they start swimming towards the orca whale.
Can do.
Had this like vision of the Warforged just going.
Yeah, that's what I like. As I got into the water, I was like,
Hang on.
Just like Garina's like, what the fuck, Kest?
It's like wearing the iron boots in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Just
Turns into a boat. Yeah, that's definitely. It turns out Garina's a transformer. So you oh, there you go.
why can she only turn into a speedboat now, Garina? Sick.
Well, on deck's not very useful. Anyway, so the blood creature on top, you see the blood pull away from the face, and just like almost like taking a helmet off, and it's now on the shoulders, and you see it sort of waving as you're just looking over and swimming away. And they have very long, from this distance, maybe black. It's just dark hair. They are quite pale. You can see that from here. They've got a very pale where the light's hitting, and they're just staring down into you. They hear something or they react to something. The blood encases them again, and a purplish void opens up behind them, and they just step back, and they're gone.
What a creep.
This is a very odd installment of Kingdom Hearts, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna
Give me an
do my
athletics
squishy
check.
splash
Is what you're
and
gonna-
swim
Oh,
towards the boat.
you don't need an athletics check. Garina needs help swimming.
Oh god.
With a nat 1.
That's.
Oh.
I will help Garina stay afloat, because if nothing else, guys, we're going to her or their place. So.
So, Zandria, Ari, Sapphire, and KO'd Delphin. You can see Kess and Garina in the water, and Kess is like Costner out of Waterworld, just zipping through the water, realizes Garina needs help, and heads back and is doing the whole lifeguard thing of running on a beach topless for some reason, but is saves so many lives, is pulling Garina through the water. You have a quick scan around. You do not see any of those aquatic hybrid creatures nearby. You can all see the flock of bird-like creatures. They're getting closer, and you can now see that they have legs. The humanoid legs are now flying, but they are still a distance away. No fear for you right now. You'll definitely get to the orca whale before that, but you do have 700 feet to fly on the owls. But you could see Kess and Garina in the water, and you can see that the black wing is sinking quite rapidly.
Rip the ship.
Rip the ship.
Rip the ship.
Rip the ship.
I'm going to continue pulling my robot friend along, squishy splashy, and try not to think about how much I'm going to get grounded as soon as I get on this boat.
So dead. You were so dead.
So for
She's like, you better live so that I can kill you when you get off the wheel.
So for the
That's
sake
exactly what's
of swimming checks for poor Garina, with the aid
Yeah.
of Kess, you will swim and pull towards the orca whale.
Eventually.
Hopefully you can all hear the music at home. If not, I've just had a great ambient sound while Kess had a fire. You start swimming towards the orca whale. I kept hearing the open whale, not orcan.
Open with.
As in a whale made of oak.
Yes.
I love it. I love that in that space of a minute there was the oak and whale, and there was the open whale. I'm like, it's the open.
It's a whale. It's a whale of a time.
It's a whale. It's a big ship with a whale on it. You start swimming towards. Don't know if that's too loud now. You start swimming towards the ship. The owls are hauling ass across the surface of the water. Just above it, you can sometimes feel the spray coming up. They're trying to keep, out of eyesight of anything else. The House of Tor ships didn't follow you into this, whatever this attack was. They remained a distance away, and you eventually make it back to the orca whale. The snowy owl and golden owl will take off again and fly towards Kess. What's your swim speed, Kess?
It is 40.
Yeah, they'll get to you. So they'll come and fly, and they'll intercept yourself and Garina. The snowy one will pick you out of the water, and the golden one will pick Garina out of the water and fly you back to the orca whale. You are dropped on deck nicely. You are all on deck. The owls all now take the form of the dwarves, the dwarven druids that you saw before. Hang on 2 seconds. Where are they? So you now see before you Axe Buckle, Bottle Belly, and Deep Digger, a few of the dwarves from the ship beforehand. Boulderback, Captain Boulderback is up at the top, and he's spinning the wheel, bloody left, right, and centre, trying to maintain and keep his ship steady, as they seem to have come under a similar attack where these blood elementals had gone beneath the surface and tried to acidic through the hull. But being dwarven druids, they were in there kicking ass, and they managed to maintain the ship really, so it didn't sink. Bottle Belly comes the cook. It's straight over. You notice that there's a few of the crew on the orca whale now are human. Some of them are made up from the fisher folk that you travelled with in 17 sessions ago. But there are also a few other humans that look a bit fresh-faced, a bit young, probably come on from Ebendorf when the ship was in there. But Boulderback is definitely a full crew now. You remember the ship as it was, very, very old and rustic, solid, giving you that very old mountain feel of, we shall not be moved upon the waters. There is a lot of sea life, but not sea life, sea fauna on the ship, around the rails and in certain areas, as if it's been raised out of the sea and now sails on the surface. But, you know, it fits for the Dwarven Druids. Bottle Belly comes rushing over, checks Harry first, then moves around to yourselves. Dalefin is immediately put on a stretcher, like a kelp stretcher, and taken to rest after Bottle Belly as a quick once over. Sapphire, Harry, Kess, Xandria, you were on the deck, and Bottle Belly simply says, "We need to get out of here."
I agree. Yes, let's do that.
What you do notice, actually, is, do you know the arcane magic that was happening in Sapphire? You lot, Xandria and Harry, you'd have seen it, obviously. Xandria probably ignored it and kept her eyes on Kess. Kess, you've no idea. There is some sort of growing, like, bubble. You now notice that there is a bubble of water that they've kind of manifested in this circle of Dwarven Druids. And this bubble is growing and growing. And it is about 10 feet across at the minute, and as it grows, the dwarves step back with it, and it is top end of the deck. Bottle Belly's back to you. Do any of you have any problem with going beneath the water?
Yeah.
Sapphire's ears flatten and his tail like curls around his waist.
When
No.
you say beneath the water,
Under the sea.
yes, I'm aware. But are you asking us if we can swim?
No. Although you are at sea, so that would help. You won't need to swim intentionally. Although accidentally you might need to swim under the sea.
No. I'll take those chances then.
Do what you need to.
Don't worry.
Sapphire
Don't worry, Biggin.
literally drops. Sapphire drops into a seated position and closes his eyes, and he's doing his best to meditate and try and ignore everything going on around him.
I wish I wasn't very.
You feel a thick-fingered but smaller hand on your shoulder and just grip, and you hear the voice of Bottle Belly. Don't worry, Catty, we got this. And just walks across the deck. You just hear footsteps pottering away, and you can hear this as the magic bubble behind you is growing. The water is spraying up. The sails are still out, and the Orcan whale is tanking it as best it can. You see at the back where Boulderback is steering that there are a few of the crew and Romerick at the back looking towards the House of Tor ships. And there's a bit of a commotion going on. Romerick shouts back to Boulderback, "They're sending smaller ships." Boulderback swears in Dwarven. Do any of you speak Dwarven?
Nope.
No.
I don't think so.
Cool, means I don't have to swear on stream, because I never do that. So Boulderback just keeps swinging. So you have a bit of time to talk before stuff happens.
I go over to Kess and I punch him in the shoulder.
He just takes it.
Zadri's hand breaks.
I mean, seems legit. Yeah. So I punch him in the shoulder. You were supposed to get on the bloody bird. Nope. Nope.
He just.
No,
he
I am.
just nods.
No, I am furious with you. Absolutely furious.
I understand.
Could have gotten yourself killed. We don't do anything separately. You know that. And then I pull him in for a hug. Don't bloody scare me like that. I can't lose you.
Sapphire, in your meditation, give me a will save.
Oh God. Oh no, wait, I should be good at this.
Will save?
14.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
love it when it's close. So you, so what happens is you snap out of your meditation. You all witness this, but it affects Sapphire the most. Sapphire, you are being dragged towards what appears to be a... You can see the outline of a portal on the deck, and beyond it is Vey, and you see the blossom trees and the rolling greens, valleys, the forests. You see your temple, but it's mirrored. So you know how everything's opposite. It's mirrored, and beyond that, you see more portals, and they're mirrored, and again, and you're being dragged towards it. Your claws go into the planks, and you start raking along. This is all happening quite fast. Kess and Xandria, you're in a hug. You turn. You see this outline of a portal of a land you've never seen. Sapphire, you then notice, as you're being dragged towards the this portal, Dalefin stands up and stands in front of the portal, so he's between you and it, and he's looking a bit of a shit state. And your amulet just goes boom, and you can feel it vibrating against your chest. Even though your claws are in and it's kind of hanging down, you can feel it bumping off your chest. The vibration of it is that much. And as you look back and see Dalefin, you see an unending number of Dalefins echoing through all these different scenes, all these different portals, all of the Vey dynasty. And you have a quick moment of they're all back to front, upside down, left, right, all these variations of this current Dalefin behind you now. And he just looks at you, Sapphire, and goes, "Come find me," and just gets dragged. He just zoof into the portal, and you see as if glass is broken all across the portal, shatter, and the echo disappears. No Dalefin, no echo, no longer being dragged across the deck.
So, like, the minute he says, "Come find me," Sapphire, like, goes, "Wait, no!" and, like, tries to, like, he lets go of the deck, but obviously the portal shatters, so he'll, like, let himself get dragged, and then...
So you'll get dragged, you'll go poof, 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 as you sort of miss the thing as it disappears before you get to it, and stumble into Garena. Garena's like, for fuck's sake! Just want to go home.
What? He turns back to look at the others. I've not... What is... The fuck was that?
So we've lost our wizard.
Kess is still just holding his amulet. Is...
What just happened?
I stare at Sapphire like...
Did the portal seem like the portal that the
No.
nasty friend?
It was a mirror.
Definitely.
It looked like a mirror without a frame.
That's the biggest concentration of echo energy I've ever felt. What? I don't even know if that was our Vey.
Where's he gone?
I don't know, but I feel like he's got something to do with it.
That's the most Geordie I've ever heard, Xandria. Champion!
It's because I've been talking to my family today, so I keep dropping into sheer Geordie.
But enjoy that is
Real difficult.
fucking way, Oh god. Fucking brilliant, Jade, I love you. Sorry, carry on.
Anyway, I was really good. I don't know, but I feel like it's something to do with him. I stare at Sapphire.
No.
Oh yeah, me and all of my epic level arcane ability. He looks like...
Listen, I don't know what kind of
Exhausted.
ability you have, but ever since you turned up, shit has been happening to Dalefin.
No, I turned up because shit was happening to Dalefin. That's the whole point.
No. Shit was happening to Dalefin, but shit got worse when you turned up.
Drea, I usually agree with you, but I think from what Daleton had been telling us, shit kind of constantly happens to him, and he doesn't do anything that he doesn't want to.
No, I'm quite
So
aware
if-
of that.
He was going to do this, then his mind was made up and we couldn't stop him. If he says we find him, then we need to do that. But just now, we need to make sure that everyone that we've got here gets through it.
Also,
And then
did you
we'll
hear
deal
what they
with-
said about going on the ship? Are you guys okay with that? Because
Kev's like, yeah, it's fine.
Sapphire looks for a moment like he had forgotten about that, and he's just, oh.
it'll be fine. Like, just hang on to something. Like, get a rope, hang on to something.
They'll do some magic thing.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I just travelled halfway around the world to find someone who is now back where I was.
Well, maybe you should follow after him then.
Drea.
An ease to the cat. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's potentially what I'm going to do when I figure out how.
You
It's
hear
what we're all going to do when we figure out how, but it's not the time for it just now.
the bird-like creatures, hybrid creatures, are now within, say, archery range rather than above you range. Arrows do go from the crew. You notice that when you saw there was a flock of them before, there are like 30 or 40 of these hybrid birds coming towards you. These ships of Tor, you can now see in the waters as you're looking around. There are smaller vessels coming towards. Seem to be going a lot faster than you'd expect a smaller vessel to go. Goddamn wizards. And you hear Boulderback as this watery orb behind you is now at like 30 feet in diameter. And you've noticed that 2/3 of the ship is now in a bubbled dome of water, and it goes down over the edges. Boulderback shouts across, "Prepare yourselves to dive." You're like, what the fuck is he on about? And the bubble finishes and completely encompasses the ship, and the ship tilts and starts going down, not like this, just like that, beneath the
Like an
water.
escalator.
Like you're on an escalator.
Elevator music.
And it starts going beneath the water. Can you all give me...
No. I know
Freak
where
the
this
fuck
is
out
going.
checks.
Yeah, just give me
Dexterity saves?
wisdom.
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 Wisdom saves. Or wisdom check.
Wisdom saves.
Wisdom saves. That's
Wisdom
good.
saves.
I'm.
Zandria and Sapphire at disadvantage because you can't swim and he's scared of water.
Nat 20 on Thornless is
I was
Anna.
like, it's fine, it's fine. I have wisdom out the wazoo. Oh, at disadvantage, eh?
I've
I
just
got a
said-
19 for my first roll, my second one was an 8.
Oh, yeah. So close.
If it makes you feel better, Sean, you didn't have the worst roll.
Yay!
You said that.
Helping
Technically it's a
someone.
10. I rolled an 8, but I've got a +2.
I think Zandria and Kessa are competing for worst roll here.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Go on,
Bitch
Zandria.
club.
Zandria, go on. What'd you get,
Not
Zandria?
1, so 6.
Kess?
7.
Look, the siblings are from a desert, okay?
So as the ship goes beneath the surface, protected by this arcane bubble of elemental water, keeping it encased and you lot safe, there is a moment of I'm having a, and the change I don't like this, the change of scenery and the surreal element to it. The three of you are not keen at all and are stunned for one round, which means
That's okay.
nothing right now. Harry, you're like,
Should be stopping, right?
At that
Right
exact
now.
moment, 12 things attack you.
this is pretty cool. Harry's loving it. You see a little Jamaican crab walk past, just chilling out. You know what I mean? Leaps off the side, swims away. There's a clownfish with a dippy fin. I mean, fucking everywhere.
Touch the boat. Touch the boat.
Yeah. I'm getting him out of the way now because I know as soon as I went under the water.
Do you know
the
that?
amount
Do you
of
know
fish-
that Caribbean crab? Was he singing "Kiss the Girl" by any chance?
No, there was some bloke behind him with a 6-pack and short dark hair, but you know, was it? No, it wasn't him, was it? I got that wrong.
What?
It all made sense in my head. So don't worry about it.
Who is this bloke with a 6-pack?
Pedro knows. Pedro knows. I'll tell you.
Pedro knows.
I'll tell you at the break.
Okay.
Tell you when you're older. Tell you when you're older.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What a waste of a nat 20 that was.
you.
It
yeah.
is better than the three of us that are like.
It is pretty funny when you know you roll nat 20s for don't be stunned for 6 seconds. The ship is now windwhackers. The ship is now beneath the surface, and slowly going deeper and deeper. Let me just change the music. The sound of rushing waves, the heavy wind, all just disappears, and there is that bubbling, swishing noise of when you're underwater with your pals and they're moving their limbs quite fast, or someone is plinking the surface and it got that little blip 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 echo effect around you. It's very surreal of how quiet it is as you are going deeper and deeper beneath the waters. The light is fucking non-existent. To start with, obviously at the surface you can see a bit of light, but then you get to a certain point after a few minutes, you're obviously no longer stunned, a few minutes pass and you are well beneath the surface, and the ship is, they've taken down the sails and the ship is just encased in a bubble of elemental water. There are 4 dwarfs who seem to be in a bit of a trance, all facing out as if maintaining the spell, so no fear there if they get hurt. And you are under the water, very quiet, and again it takes a little bit of adjusting to realise that you can hear properly and not that muffled speaking underwater. And there is a relaxing feel across the crew, or at least the original crew of the Orc and Whale, who are used to this sort of shit. They're dwarven druids, but a lot of the other people, you see them go through the same sort of motions that you lot did, and a few of them are still in a stunned state. There are a few that are just sat down and just completely baffled by their situation. Garina has excused herself and is below deck.
Has noped the heck out.
Wise decision.
And is below deck.
Ari's gonna cast dancing lights, so he has some lights we can see.
Ooh.
As human.
Gosh, human. What's the range on them lights?
It is 120 feet and lasts up to a minute, but it's
No,
4 of them.
How bright are they? Not how far can you do it? How bright are they? 120 feet? Jesus, so wet.
I thought you said the range, okay?
You can see everything.
Dim light in a 10-foot radius.
10 foot. So each one of them does 10 foot, yeah? Are you putting them around the edge of the bubble or just nearby, or...?
Probably like near the edge of the bubble to try and sort of light the space a little bit better for folks that...
Little bit of ambiance.
But under
Yes,
the
we
sea.
got to set the mood. There you see her. Anyway, sitting there across the way. No, I'll probably get sued. I don't do accents. Yeah, so as you put the orbs to the edge of the water, you can see 10 feet beyond the bubble quite a lot of life. There are very, very tiny fish swimming quite close to you. You see, well, not close to you, but close to the ship. You see quite large eels. Like, they're quite ugly is a strong word. They're quite vicious looking in their facial features of these eels. They're very thick eels, not the little slippery bastards that you get down under. But yeah, they are I actually... There you go. Yeah. There's quite a lot of spiny creatures as well swimming around the place. And the odd fish of jelly.
I feel like it would be more kind of looking out for any of the blood elemental stuff.
There
So
is nothing that
normalish
you
sea
can
creatures,
see
it's
here.
yeah.
By the way, you've gone under the water. Oh, that's actually a fair point. You hear a scraping noise, real loud, and you move your orbs down, and you can see one of the tip of the mast off the Black Wing as that ship is sunk, and it scrapes down the side of the Orcan whale. And cuts through the water bubble, and you see the two of the four dwarves turn and focus on that area as it cuts through the water, and you see water splashing through the cut in the water, and then they manage to maintain the spell, and through your light, just 10 feet from it, you can see the mast of the Black Wing. You can assume beyond it is the sinking of the royal ship of the House of Falcons.
I've got a bit of distance on it, or have we doubled that?
You're under it. So you're under it.
Yeah, we were ahead of it, weren't we?
No, the Orcan whale was behind the Black
Behind.
Wing.
Oh, the Orcan whale was behind.
Yeah.
Ah, I thought the Orcan whale was in front.
No, it was behind you.
Okay, now it makes sense. Sorry, I was completely in opposite directions. I was
Sense
like,
of direction.
wait.
Lord Romerick approaches, looking a bit dishevelled, not his usual stand upright, perfect posture, hair in place, everything old guard mentality. Is looking quite civilian-esque in comparison to his normal standard nobility. He gives no fucks about his hair at the minute. His robes and clothing, his jacket is unbuttoned. He's in a very relaxed state, as it were. And he comes over, he's like, well, Lady Zandria, I apologise on behalf of the House of Falcons. And he's kind of looking around with a bit of like a smirk on his face. I apologise on behalf of the House of Falcons for your trip aboard the Black Wing. It's not usually so bumpy.
You have nothing to apologise for.
He nods. So how are we all?
You still got a limpet, brother. Like,
I'm glad that you're limping to me, because I should be the one limping to you, considering I'm on 1
it's
HP.
not often that Zandria's like nice or like performative in her familial affection.
That's a good point. I think we're a little worse for wear, and we seem to have lost one of our companions, who seems to have ported himself away.
Yes,
Other than that, I think we're alright.
it was strange. How are you? And he looks up at Sapphire. Are you stood or still sat?
What's that? Cross-legged.
Looks
Hands in lap.
looks down at you. Ish. Or only just. How
Like sad cat eyes.
how are you? Is it Mr. Boots? It's probably not. He said
My name is Sapphire.
pleasure to meet you, Sapphire. I'm Lord Romerick. I did not see you with Lady Zandria before. Are you in Malran or?
Oh, yeah. I came looking for someone, and he just went back to where I was, and now I'm sad.
Romerick looks at Zandria confused, looks back at Sapphire. Well, if there's anything we can do to help, I'm sure the House of Falcons can compensate for the problems you've had whilst visiting our country of Ravenholm.
I wouldn't exactly say we need to be compensated for actions that were not fully your responsibility or your result either.
Oh, thank
No,
you.
I mean, if anything, you just saved our butts, so thank you.
I believe there was a fair amount of saving of butt from yourselves, as well as Captain Boulderback. And Boulderback's just at the back. It's quite impressive he hears Romerick, so no worries. And you see Boulderback, he's just got 2 fingers on the wheel and he's just spinning it like a roulette wheel. Like, just as casual as you like. Ship's just going in a straight line down, it's still on its diagonal descent. But he's just spinning the wheel. Well, this definitely confirms that I suppose we're at war with the House of Tor and the Red Lady, and I've no doubt the House of Lilies as well.
Yeah.
It would seem so.
I hoped for confirmation a bit later so I could speak to the Viceroy, but not. So now it is of utmost importance that I get my ass back to Raven. We can... Boulderback is still under the impression he can get you to land safely. We are not far from the waters of the House of the Forged. I had a quick conversation with Garina. They are healing or repairing. I'm not sure how Garina's... I'm not sure how that works for Garina and her kith. But Garina is a little bit worried that there may be spies or betrayal throughout Ravenholm in all the houses, as despite Ulrich's quick to stamp his feet, there is usually a build-up of planning for something like this to occur. And we are worried that, or at least Garina is heavily worried that the other 3 houses may have been infiltrated at some level, even if it's just earwigging on certain conversations. I would probably say eavesdropping. Earwigging doesn't sound like something Lord Romerick would say, to be honest. So.
Depends how tired he is. He just goes full grandpa when he's tired.
Get me the Werther's originals.
Oh, Werther's originals. Yes.
They're wonderful, Cass, and you'll love them.
No,
Oh, burnt flesh, yeah.
not a fan.
So
Anyway.
you can take advantage of Boulderback's offer if you so wish. They are very talented aboard the. I've not met many druids. It's not a big thing in the city of Ravens, but they seem to be quite talented, and Boulderback is confident he can get you to where you need to go or wish to go.
I believe our priority at the moment is to get to land so that we may try and convey with the Copper Forest to see what has been happening on their side. See if we can come up with a strategy to deal with the war on both fronts.
That is a fine plan. A very fine plan. But we
Not going after Dale?
As much as I would like to go after Dalefin right this moment, there is a war that needs to be fought. I don't expect you to stay, you're not a part of it. But for myself and for my brother, the war needs to be fought here.
I can keep exploring Ravenholm. He's not... Dalethon wasn't the only potential that can help, so I'll stay around for a while.
Well, we have a moment to rest and recuperate. I don't believe the House of Tor have the means to follow, and I have faith in Boulderback's druids to ask for aid beneath the sea, or beneath the surface, as opposed to those of Tor. So rest, drink, eat. The evening will be upon us in a few hours. I believe we will be down here. It's very strange. do not like being able to not see too far, but we should be down here for a short time. And with that, I'll call a break, because it's 9:30.
Yeah, man.
We're all gonna. So thank you very much for watching so far. We shall crack on with part 2 after the break. We're all gonna go get a quick drink at a bio stop, and then we'll be back in 10-15 minutes. Please carry on watching. Please, if you're enjoying it, tell people about it. See if we can build more and more viewers. Yes. And stick around for part 2 in about 10-15 minutes, where we'll see what this lot do under the sea. So, see you soon. Bye bye. Hello, Trolls Midden Raiders. We're currently on a break. Thank you very much for the raid. We're just grabbing a drink and stuff. We'll be about 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's a troll raid. Hey, Angie Pops, Croy VR. Thanks for coming over. I hope you've had a lovely time over at Trolls, checking out their DnD5e. So I'm assuming you can hear me, otherwise I'm been talking to myself. I've got a Snicker bar that I'm going to eat now. So yeah, thank you very much for the raid. We'll be right back, about 10 minutes. Hello, folks. We're live. Apparently,
No.
there's a prawn on a cookie.
Yeah, you baked a prawn into a chocolate chip cookie.
Wait,
It's wrong.
What? I need to see
No,
this.
we're playing D&D. We're
Right.
not derailing this.
We're back. We're back
Guys.
for part 2.
In the room.
Thank you very much for the raid from Trollsbedden. Just before the break, this lot managed to escape a sinking ship, being attacked by blood elementals and a very mysterious person in some sort of blood elementally armour shield type stuff. And they all ended up on the Orcan whale. And said ship, with the aid of the dwarven druids, protected it in a bubble of water and have taken it beneath the surface of the sea. They are currently under the water on the western coast of Ravenholm, travelling from the waters that belong to the House of Tor into the waters belonging to the House of the Forged. And they are currently beneath the waters, taking a moment to just breathe, rest, and take in the strange silence that the under the water bubbled effect has given them, protecting them from noise beyond. There is still the noise and kerfuffle of the crew pottering around and sorting stuff, making sure everything's sorted, tied down and in its correct place. You get word that there are people going below decks to make sure that the acidic blood that tried to eat through the hull of this ship is completely gone, and any repairs that needed doing they are doing as they can with the aid of druidic magic and a good old spit and elbow grease, which has never worked, but we'll see. So yeah, so you're beneath the water, so you got a bit of time to yourselves. Jesus Christ, Harry's stripper name that opened. Come on.
That's why we were sitting here dying of laughter while you were doing the recap. It's like,
Fuck's sake.
You're terrible people.
Stop reading chat, right? You've got a job to do.
I'm gonna go and check and see how Sapphire's doing, because he doesn't seem to be vibing his current situation.
Wait, are you detaching yourself from your sister?
Again.
Ish.
Ish.
Like as you approach Sapphire, he's like almost clawing his way up the side of the ship to give him to like stand up. He looks like he's gonna fall over at any moment. He just looks out. He like instinctively goes to look over the side and then realizes it's fucking everywhere.
It's fucking everywhere.
Maybe find something to look at on the ship as opposed to staring out into the water. If you don't like the water. Like with heights, if you don't like heights.
That's not a bad plan. I was not expecting this. And he does. He looks at you for the moment, and he's like keeps glancing between your face and your boots.
Just... Still here.
I'll just pull my pipe out and start smoking.
In the little bubble of air that we have.
I'm pretty sure science has no play in my games.
How do you all put up with this kind of stuff?
I don't understand any of it, so after a while you just trust that whoever's doing it knows what they're up to. And he just kind of like gives you a hearty pat on the shoulder. It'll be fine. Or it won't. There's not really much else options-wise. If something goes wrong, we deal with it.
So what is going wrong at the moment? Your sister talked about a war.
There's pretty much a war happening right now. That's why we got attacked.
Do we want to go sit somewhere in
Below deck? Below deck would be good.
Yeah, let's get you below deck.
Sapphire kind of like, he looks like he's, you know when you've been on something that's moving for a while, when you step off of it, your legs are a bit shaky. He's like shuffling along like that towards.
He's got
Steps
sea
down.
legs before he even gets off the ship. Okay, so
Yeah.
you go below deck. It is not as extravagant and as large as the Blackwing, but it is close. Sapphire pretty much touches both walls with his shoulders. It is not designed for the taller person, being that it is captained by a clan or druidic circle of dwarves, and you're very aware that they had a lot of input into the ship's build. It is, however, a warm, welcoming atmosphere. There is a lot of greenery beneath the deck that decorates the walls. It's not like thick moss growing everywhere. They've just done a very simple touch of greenery around certain joinings and stuff. You pass the canteen area, very familiar to the rest of you, obviously not Sapphire. And there's quite a few people. It's quite busy in there. It's stocked up where a lot of the crew from, obviously the Blackwing are across, and a few others that you don't recognise. Sat at the far end of the canteen area is the very darily sliced, wide-shouldered, thin-waisted pearl tiefling that you saw before. Just eating some sort of stew or gruel out of a bowl. You can see there's a few others that are being fed. Some of them are stereotypically after a battle scene. There's people have got bandages and their arms have been held in place, or the wounds have been tended with mundane means rather than magical, as the dwarves just don't have that capability for the amount of people in here. Now you're below deck, and you can see the amount of people that are down here injured or not part of the crew of the Oaken Whale. You can see that there's a lot of people just trying to fill gaps, essentially. They're rammed in everywhere. Some of the bunk rooms have got people in them just sat on bunks rather than laying on them. No one seems to be on death's door, but the amount of injuries that were taken and stuff are being treated. There's no like, what's the word, morbid atmosphere that someone's going to die. And you do find a small area in one of the bunk rooms that is empty, bar 3 humans of Ravenholm that you recognise to be locals from Malran. All adult, 1 male, 2 female. They just seem to be dock workers, and they just sort of nod when you four walk in. Sort of squeeze in.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Try and find somewhere to kind of curry down and sit.
Cool, you sit, the bunks are there. 2 of the bunks are free, and these 3 have got the other bunks each. They're not laid on them, they're just sat on them. There's still a space to get a couple more people in here if they were to sit, but there's only like 6 bunks in here.
Yeah.
So you are,
Sapphire.
all 4 of you are in that room, if you so wish.
Sapphire will sit on one of the currently empty bunks, and he brings his legs up onto it as well in a cross position, as it just seems like that's just how he sits.
Is this better for you, Sapphire?
Yeah, I can pretend that we're not under the
I
Yes.
mean, usually if you were on a boat, this would probably be underwater anyway, so you're fine. It's meant to do this.
You see him look concerned for a moment. He goes, I had never actually considered that bit.
Flawless.
But it's what they build it for.
Of course.
Not helping. We're moving as quickly as we can towards a safe land, or safer part of land. Let's put it that way. We're out of a battle.
But that battle was part of the war.
It was,
Start of a war.
yeah.
Start of one of the wars. It's growing arms and legs, quite frankly.
Who is at war?
The country of Ravenholm are in a civil war, as of right now. 3 houses against 3 houses. But 3 of those houses are in war with the Copper Forest, the Feywilds. So there are 2 wars being fought.
Why would a country fight against itself?
Because they disagreed. They disagreed on a war against the Copper Forest. The ones who wanted to start the war of the Copper Forest, the ones who are at war with the Copper Forest, are the ones who attacked us today.
Okay. And so I take it you're on the side of the ones that don't want to fight the Copper Forest?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's good, because war is stupid.
Stupid, but sometimes necessary.
No, I agree with Sapphire. It's just stupid.
I can kind of understand a country fighting with another country sometimes. Even then, I think it's stupid, but I've seen tribes fighting other tribes, and I've seen fighting just for fun, and I don't get it.
It's never happened before. It's something new for Ravenholm.
Hopefully this civil war will put Ravenholm on a new path. One that doesn't involve them attacking the Copper Forest needlessly.
I'm somewhat concerned, not gonna lie, about what's happened to my part of Ravenholm, because I'm from here. A little bit concerned, to be honest. But we need to do what we need to do.
From what I've heard, Ari, the other houses would be foolish to attack the House of Eagles. If they attacked and caused the wall to fall, that's another war they would have to fight. That would be a war on 3 fronts for them.
Lots of Eagles are already fighting a war. They guard the wall. That's what they do.
No, what I meant is that if the House of Tor and the Red Lady and the House of Lilies decided to attack the House of Eagles and the wall fell, that would be a great problem for them. I don't think they would be foolish enough to attack the House of Eagles.
Then how did my grandfather die?
I think that is a problem with the wall and not so much Ravenholm itself. That's outside forces.
But if you don't understand, he was such a good fighter that, I mean, he won all sorts of stuff, and for him to fall, it's just unthinkable.
Even great warriors make mistakes, Ari.
He kind of pulls out the scroll, like, he basically said that there was an attack, and that's why he was writing this. I'm just so confused.
I have a gut feeling that the attack was an outside force and not an internal thing. I could be wrong, but from what I've heard about your house and the wall, their main focus is on that wall. And if they're getting smarter on the other side of the wall, if the demons are learning and coming up with new ways of getting through, then that'll have been his downfall.
It could be connected. It could all be so connected, because look at how how everyone's kind of getting through to the Copper Forest now as well. Like I think it's all linked, but I just don't know how. And I don't know why.
Chaos. Some creatures relish in the chaos. And they take those who are weak-minded and easily swayed, turn them into pawns, and use them to fight against their own.
And some people just like fighting.
And some people just like fighting. That's generally because they're stupid.
I agree. So what is the plan? What do we do?
And
Every time I think we have one, something else happens.
One of the middle-aged woman of the two just sort of looks at you for a small smile on her face, greying hair, quite stocky for being a dock worker. Just looks at you for us. Thought we were having a shit day. You lot sound like you got it heavy. Fancy a drink? And she offers a hip flask. It's quite a stonky hip flask.
It would have to be if she's offering around us.
There's a pipe attached to a backpack.
Amazing. I'll take the flask off her.
So, take a sip.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice, warming alcoholic beverage, whiskey-esque.
I just pass it round, so I'll pass it to whoever's next to me.
Take a sip and thank Zandria and thank the woman who had offered it and pass it to whoever's next in queue.
I mean, we'll take a sip for sure.
Yeah, so will Sapphire. Sapphire takes a small sip and is like, yeah.
Yeah. Start doing that cat sneeze.
He doesn't look like he's a fan and hands it back to the woman. Thank you. Thank you.
You tried.
So how are you all doing? Oh, you got a lot of shit going on.
People want alcohol that burns them. Sorry, we were... Oh, I shouldn't really... I only just showed up.
Alright, fair.
We're
War is pretty stupid.
doing as good as can be expected, I suppose.
Wow, you lot are cheery.
As
Been
you
a long
said,
day.
it's
At least you're alive. The bloke and younger lass with them, they look at the the woman as if to say, "You positive twat." Like just you take your positivity over there, right, and leave us. Like we're just gonna. We've had this conversation. It's on you for now.
that's 100% true. While you're still alive, you can still keep going, I suppose.
You
And
definitely look
forwards,
tall
kind
for
of.
the job. Whatever that job is. I mean, and she points out that her and the other two are just in, trousers and a shirt. And you four are slightly better equipped in your gear, appearance and such. Where are you going next? I've just been nosy. Tell me to do one if you want.
We're not sure next.
Not keen on this Civil War business.
Nobody would be keen on civil war apart from the ones who started it.
I'm born and bred House of the Red. I never saw this coming. It's a disgrace.
Somebody in that house seems to think that they are more superior than the others.
It's always the gaffers. Always those in charge wanting more. Well,
Sounds about right.
I'm knackered. Then she just leaves the bunk room. And you see her just cut down the corridor and into the canteen area.
We should probably wrestle again.
Come up with a plan.
Sapphire! Sorry, you hear a familiar voice in your head. Dun, 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 dun. It is one that you have experienced, this method you've experienced before, so you are aware that you have roughly 25 words to respond.
Oh jeez.
But the incoming message you receive is, "Hello, young Sapphire. How goes it? I hope you are safe. We are thinking of you, Sensei Rin."
He closes his eyes and focuses. I think I may be on the right path, but this country is at war with itself and others.
Is that it?
Hope you are well.
I guess another message. We are well, thank you. Countries at war with themselves will inevitably end themselves. And there's a pause. Stay the path. And that's it.
I'll thank Sensei Rin, and then open my eyes again.
You okay there?
Yeah, I was my teacher sent me some kind of message in my head. I'm sure you guys have done it before. He is very far away. I was sent here to look for new magics, new potential ways to help with a sickness back home. Apparently Ravenholm is good with this kind of magic, and he points to his amulet.
Ari,
It's beyond me.
give me a history check.
I was gonna say, I don't know, I was
What was in that hip flask?
Not the best. 13.
13? That's fine. You are aware that there is a school, a academy, a establishment that is one of the Tri-Solum. And there are 3 of them, these schools, academies, etc. There is one of them all the way in the Ver Dynasty. There is one of them in Atoria, and there is one of them in Ravenholm. And they are 3 establishments that are the epitome of knowledge in everything. It is where they house it. I'm talking, libraries of Alexandria type stuff. They hoard every bit of information they possibly can. The Darshal Adusian is in Ravenholm, in a southern, the most southern city in the province of the House of Eagles called Al-Hofen. That's probably not pronounced that way because that sounds a bit more deserty, but it's Alhofen if you look on the map.
I'm looking on the map.
Bottom right hand corner, next to the mountains, next to the little boat.
I got it.
Yeah. In that city is this university, this academy, this library, this place of knowledge called Darshal Adusian, and it is the place in Ravenholm, if not a lot of the world, where you would go for magical teachings, considering Ravenholm is the elite country of wizardry, at least known to most of the world. So if anyone knows about magic, it'd be them.
It's interesting. Like, there's a kind of a university, I guess you call it, that's full of sort of learned people, learned scholars, all that kind of stuff to do with magic. Don't really know a huge amount of it myself, but it's nearish where I grew up, kind of to the south. But you might want to head there if that's the kind of stuff that you're wanting. If you're wanting knowledge, like that's the best place in Ravenholm.
Whereabouts is it?
It's in Alhaphone. So we should both remember how to pronounce it.
You live there, Rick. You pronounce it how you want.
It'll change next time we play this game. It's like it's far away from here, but it's like within a couple of days' travel of where I grew up.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. That means that's somewhere for me to start. From what I was told, the learning establishment we had back home didn't have the kind of information we needed.
It's probably going to have everything you need. It's got the hugest library from all accounts. But we are kind of on the opposite side of Ravenholm to it right now.
Just so you know, Ari, all three of the Trisolums, they are gifted children, prodigies, incredibly wealthy people get to go there just by, like, there are people that travel Ravenholm looking for gifted children to take them to Dar Shaladusian. And it's common knowledge amongst them. You're just obviously being who you are and getting around the place and being good with people, you get to hear a lot of stuff, and you are aware that all three of them, they, Ravenholm and Atoria, all have similar setups of gifted abilities, and people of many races are taken to those places. You never heard any bad takings, everyone's gone voluntary and stuff.
Yeah, it tends to be sort of very gifted children that tend to go. It's for the elite, I guess, but we could definitely go and try and see if we can at least get you some information.
It sounds like the Kithlora Lucian.
Yeah, pretty much. I know there's three of them. You know, so I know there's one in the VIC, so it would make sense.
Okay,
So-
that does make a lot of sense.
But I mean, at the moment, I just want to get to land of some description and probably to the Copper Forest. But if we're going over that way anyway, I wouldn't object to checking on the family and making sure everything's okay. But it's also a very long way away. It's literally the opposite side of Ravenholm right now. And we're not under the sea. We're somewhere else, aren't we? We're not really here.
His ears flattened again.
That gets an eye roll even from Kess, like, oh, I'm the one that makes everything
You did
look
so well.
sure.
I think if you're thinking that you may head over that way eventually, I'll stick with you guys for as long as it's okay with you, I suppose. He looks at Xandria.
Safer to travel in numbers here. Isn't it, Rhea?
Hmm.
There's a long way between there and here, okay? Like, we need to hit land first.
So what are you doing?
Cool.
Are you done? So
I think he's gonna. I know Sapphire's gonna just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, if we could have a long rest.
Yeah, please. I don't really want to spend the rest of the game on 1 HP.
So a dragon attacks.
No such things as dragons and colossus. Definitely not under the water.
Dragon, turtle, polymorph, job done. So the, as the evening does take, or at least you are informed that the evening is taken, and you all feel that slight tiredness and the need for meditation of elven sorts or monk sorts. It is evening time. The crew of the Oakham Whale do their best, as does everyone really, to make everyone as comfortable as they can, and there are suggestions of rotating shifts so people can get rest. Some people have to stay awake a bit longer than they're used to, but they're going to rotate the rest so the injured and such, and everyone gets a long rest.
Yay.
Yay.
That, throughout the evening, Kesvion. Yeah!
I'm for you to
That's
have a
me.
dream, my dude.
Like
Water,
those.
some water at times, yeah.
Water and more water. And
You
look
did
at
a
that.
splish, now you must pay.
You are outside the bubble of the ship.
That's not where I want to be.
The sea is all around you. There is not a single creature for miles. You can see the ship before you. You are a good 100 feet from it. You can't see any movement on the ship. You can see the 4 dancing lights of Ari. Whether they're there or not, you get that scene. And you can see the empty deck of the ship. You are just in the water. It is everywhere around you for miles and miles, no sign of life. It is serene, silent, and all you hear is, "Brother," and you reawake. It is morning time, or at least you are woken up, and you instantly look. St. Zandria. People are making breakfast, waking others up to get their next shift. You have slept through the night. You've all had a long rest. The morning is there, or meditate, or dreamed, elves. But you, it's morning time. Give me a history check, Kess.
History is intelligence. We don't have intelligence.
It's weirdly not too bad though.
Did you get a 15?
For me.
Did you get
Pardon?
A 15, did you get a 15 or above?
No, I got a 14.
Oh
No.
no!
No
Cool.
history for you, my dude.
You do not recognise the voice that said brother.
That's weirder. But sure.
Oh yeah, we've got rerolls. Use the rerolls. It's 10
yeah,
o'clock.
screw that. I'm having my reroll.
I forgot I've got inspiration. I could have rerolled some stuff.
On your nut
You've got
ones.
inspiration, and we've got 2 rerolls to go as well.
We
Well,
keep
no, we got
forgetting.
one. I'm having
Go on,
one.
then.
Yeah, no, yeah, you have that one. Absolutely.
After we have my -1 to it, because it would have been a 15, but it came down to a 14. That is now a 16.
Yay! Tell us the voice.
You recognise the voice.
Recognize the voice.
You recognise the voice. Suddenly, you're like, hang about. I definitely just going to have a moment to focus. You do recognise the voice. You recognise it as the voice that was close to you when you first opened your eyes and saw Zandria. But Zandria did not speak with the same voice. So when you were in your asleep state's a bit of a weird one, but before you first laid eyes on Zandria, it's a voice you recognise from then. But you can't picture why, no physicality, no scene.
Okay. I like how we both have the exact same face.
My favourite.
And that's where the memory's from, of that voice.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You want that reroll?
So confused.
No, it's wreck my weak shit. Why don't you?
If it makes you feel better, I know exactly what's going on. So you know.
I
Wow, thanks. That makes me feel so much better.
I didn't even need to roll.
All my anxiety has just washed away down the drain. Thanks.
Sawdust got a suggestion for you in chat.
Cast your mind back to the session just before you went into the Copper Forest.
What, you mean where apparently everyone heard a voice out of Xandria? That wasn't Xandria, and apparently it was an apparition.
Heavy is metagaming, aka DMing.
I'm gonna say, he's a DM, he's allowed to.
The aberration voice that Xandria had. That apparently is like...
I'm figuring you would have said it was an
Yeah.
aberration voice, because you made it very clear it was an aberration voice the first time. So, cool.
I mean,
No,
he didn't. He just said it was a voice that came out of Xandria, and you found out it was an aberration after you did your ritual.
But I would also recognise that voice as being that voice.
You
True,
would've-
true.
Yeah, it is not the same voice.
Yeah. Well, we're all fucked. We don't know what that means, so you know that'll come back to haunt us in 20 sessions.
15.
That's too close. Can we make it 20?
Stretch it. I need that magic sword.
Don't have a magic sword.
You'll need it when it comes to session 20. So what are you doing? It's morning time. What are you doing?
I'm
Lying
thinking
in
food.
bed.
Where is food?
The
After
canteen?
that weird ass dream, I'm just gonna go eat some breakfast and try not to think about it because that was weird.
Let's keep putting it in the box. This
Yeah,
box
it's
is
like,
getting full,
let's-
kids. I'm just saying.
Let's put that somewhere else where the things I don't want to deal with live. Yeah.
Breakfast is easy. The bottle belly is rocking around, feeding as many people as she can. Seems to be endless. You can imagine it's some sort of druidic craft, but they are. Bottle belly and co are feeding as many people as they possibly can. You are given your breakfast. It is oaty with fruits and nuts and such, which is nice on a ship. You can have it hot or cold, your preference. But yeah, and there are people around. You see that Ruffworx and Boulderback are actually enjoying their breakfast, and they're sat with quite a lot of people that look either crew or rescued from the docks and such. Boulderback is having a lovely conversation with the Pearl Tiefling. You see Garina stood by herself, or by themselves, fuck that every time, by themselves, not eating, but they've got a bowl in their hand, but they're not touching it. They just seem to be staring into nothingness.
I'm gonna go check on Garina because we stared into water
Together.
one time, and now
Now your best buds. BFF.
best
So-
buds. Yeah, it's as
You-
close as guessing. I was like, yeah,
You put her over.
that'll do.
Garina does react as you approach, and they nod. Morning, Caspian.
Morning. Did you rest well?
I did, and I feel stronger for it. Did you?
Better than we did when it was evening yesterday. That's for sure.
This is terrible. A civil war within Ravenholm. People will die. Unnecessarily.
I think as soon as Ulrich's mind was set to it, there was no way that there wasn't going to be a war of some description.
Ulrich is a child
it's-
and needs punishing.
I could not agree more.
Do you care for more food? And they offer you their bowl of oats.
No, he holds up what's probably now a finished bowl, 'cause I'm not sure if he was what direction he was going in, but no, I've had my fill, but thank you. Will you be continuing on to our original
I'll have it.
destination, or
You see a dwarf just walk past, just snaffle the ball and away.
at
I
least
will-
it won't go to waste?
Yes, dwarfs. And yes, I will be continuing on. We need to make it to Enderic. From there I can make my way to the to Rostad and speak with the house nobles. Those of the forge must know and prepare.
Your
We've-
borders are close. It must be a tense time.
Tor has forever been jealous of our craft and chose to use the magics of physicality instead of the lessons of iron and alchemy and any other ability to forge. So there has always been a tension, but always a competitive nature with an element of dislike. Never has there been risk of all-out bloodshed. But I know the House of Tor will be very keen to test the House of the Forged. However, the House of the Falcons and the House of the Forged are adjacent to the House of Tor. So I would have thought that the House of Tor would not have risked any such move unless they know something we do not, and that is what scares me the most. It is a long way for the House of the Red Lady and the House of Lilies to march south to aid the House of Tor when they are right on our doorstep. So why risk such an attack? Even if they'd have succeeded, they still would not have been able to take the forces of both of us, and it puts fear into my soul. And there's a pause when they say soul. That their blades are sharper than I first assumed.
Is it possible that they're hoping to use their way to traverse through Copper Forest to aid?
The advantage of your people's forest is very much that, the ability to travel anywhere in Ravenholm. And time is strange, I am led to believe.
It's more fluid than it is on this side. That is true.
But you are correct, the advantage would be enormous if the houses could. The forest, as you will know, is Ravenholm, and Ravenholm is the forest. It is... oh, I do not know the words. An overlapping, maybe, is a weak description.
It is a poor situation we all find ourselves in.
If you travel to the House of the Forged, I would like to gift you with an item of craft for saving my life on the ship. More than once. Your party and yourself. So please remember that if you are ever to travel to Rostad.
That is very kind of you. Wholly unnecessary, I hope you understand, but I would be honoured if I was ever to pass through.
How are your friends?
We are preparing ourselves the best we can to do what we must. It's a difficult time, and we lost one of our number But we will continue on because much as you must, so must we.
They nod.
I should probably return to them. I'm glad you're well.
Thank
and
you.
he'll take his leave.
And Garina carries on staring into space. Anybody else?
I mean, I'm still in bed. I'm having a lie-in. I am not moving. There is no immediate danger, and I am not needed.
Shit,
I'm
I've been
goddamn
through.
lying.
Sapphire is just grabbing breakfast and sitting alone to eat it and take some time to enjoy as much quiet as he can until things inevitably kick off again.
Ari will probably try and grab Boulder back for a little chat when they get a chance.
Cool, Boulderback's out of the table. Lord Romerick is currently engaged with a couple of the crew behind them. He's turned his chair to talk to them. Boulderback's talking to the pearl coloured tiefling. There's space near them. Are you waiting for that conversation to end, or?
Yeah, like all he wants to do is kind of like basically say thanks to Boulderback for like sending the druids over to come get them. So
Cool.
it'll probably be like maybe like later on that day or something, like
Okay.
when they're not engaged or in the
So as the day passes, people go back about the business. There is a bit more of a smiles going around the crew and on deck and stuff as people relax and are now accepting the fact that they're safe. It was a little bit airy of a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes of super adrenaline up on the surface. Now they've been below decks a full night, and a couple of hours in the morning there is a relaxed-esque nature around it, and the druids are now using light cantrips to put around the edge of the bubble so people can see beyond that. You do notice you are being escorted is the wrong word, but some of the dwarves have wild shaped into aquatic creatures, mainly seals, and they are about and circling the bubbled oaken whale beneath the waters. Boulderback is indeed free. It's late afternoon. He's stood up solo just on the thing. Again, spinning the wheel like it's a roulette wheel, having no bearing or direction of the ship whatsoever. But he is alone. There's no sign of Romerick or anybody like that that's normally talking to him.
Ari kind of like bimbles up to him and was just kind of like, hiya.
Hello?
Just
You okay,
wanted-
Harry?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to you and your crew for coming to get us off the other ship. It was a bit hairy.
You're very welcome. After the trip to Ebendorf in the first place, it was damn lucky you were with us anyway. It's nice to return the favour somewhat.
It was nice. It was nice to come back on board. Like I feel more familiar with the ship and.
With a big beaming smile on his face. Thank you.
You run a good ship, you know, what can I say? I feel a lot safer with your guys aboard, and it feels a lot nicer, and it's you guys have got to thank for that, really. We obviously unfortunately lost Delphin, and we want to go and try and get to him eventually, but
Troubled one, that. Well, you
Yeah.
all look more than capable and definitely showing yourselves. You could maybe, I don't know, fetch him back one day.
I really hope so. But yeah, just wanted to pass on my thanks from us, really, because without you, we'd have probably gone down with that ship.
I wouldn't want a Lord of the Eagles to go down with the ship. And he looks at you curiously to see a reaction. Well, I never. Lord Romerick informed me of your status, Harry. You should have said. And they've given you a better seat in the canteen. There are no different seats in the canteen.
Harry gets the joke. Yeah, it's weird. It's not the case. I'm worried about my family, but
You should always be worried about your family. I'm always worried about this lot. Look at Borrowbelly swimming around as a seal outside the bubble. What if a shark eats her?
she's pretty capable. You know, she's pretty capable. I think she's got that fight.
She's a very angry cook, but cooks well.
Very good cook, yeah, indeed.
Do you want dropping off near the House of Eagles?
Yeah, it's a very long way away.
I do. I have a ship.
I know. I think.
I'd rather
It's
avoid
nice.
a civil war.
Yeah, I think closer to. I don't know where we want to go yet. It's discussed, but I think we were trying to possibly go to the Copper Forest and try and speak to them.
I can't get you to the Copper Forest. I can drop you on land near a forest, and then I'm sure your
That was
fair
yeah.
friends can take it from there.
I think that's probably the idea, but I will confirm.
I can get you to land any time you ask.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll let you know.
Harry,
Yes,
is it true the first eagle fell?
it's true.
You will be missed. My condolences.
Thank you.
And he continues. Go on.
I'll never get used to that.
And nor should you. You want to drive the ship for a little bit?
Probably wouldn't know how.
Trust me, it's so easy. Just come and stand here. And he sort of gestures for you to stand behind the wheel.
Okay. Okay, let's go on the ship.
Jesus Christ. All you have to do is spin the wheel. And there's a big, like, many-handled
Spin the
ship wheel. Spin it, it's fine.
Harry is little noodle arms.
You dexterously spin the
That's what you
wheel.
can do.
So you spin the wheel,
Spin the wheel.
and the wheel just spins, just keeps going, just keeps spinning round. No direction in the ship changes. Don't worry, I will caveat this with, you're not allowed to drive the ship up there. And then Balderbat will continue to tell you things about how to drive the ship on the surface.
Aww,
Bless
that's
him.
cute.
He's also married, so back off.
Marriage? What is
So-
that?
As the rest of the day is busy with folk doing their thing, Romerick and Garina share several conversations before Romerick approaches Xandria. Lady Summerbreeze, have you decided where you would like to be dropped? You've mentioned many times that you wish to get back to the Copper Forest. You merely have to go to land, and then from there I suppose you know what you're doing. You just need to give us the go, and I can arrange with Balderbat to get you to land. You are very welcome to stay, however, and we will continue our trip, as we will be sailing all the way to Raven, or at least we hope, to the city of Ravens. But that's a few days, if not a couple of weeks sail. And I don't know how fast we are moving underwater.
Whilst I do wish to get back to the Copper Forest as soon as possible, I think it would be foolish of us to leave right now and be dropped anywhere at the moment. I think it would be wiser for us to perhaps continue the journey with yourselves to the City of Ravens, where we can perhaps resupply ourselves with items that we will need before heading back to the Copper Forest.
Indeed. That will also give me the opportunity to reward you and yours if you would allow me the honour.
We seek no reward, my lord, but we are thankful nonetheless.
How very noble of you. And he nods. Well, if we have a couple of weeks to kill, I'll go see what Boulderback can do about getting us there faster, maybe. And he pops off. So, unless any of you decide to do anything else, you've got 2 weeks to kill. Think fast, kids. During your 2 weeks, is there anything you wish to achieve? Bear in mind the points of interest that I'm going to put out there, whether you agree or not is entirely up to yourself, is Boulderback, the Pearl Tiefling, Romerick, Garena, any of your personal stuff that you wish to talk about or seek information about throughout the crew. You have a lot of people on here going from Dwarven Druids, House of the Forge, House of Falcons, some people from the House of the Red Lady. You've got stuff available to you from the House of Eagles. Is there anything you wish to... bear in mind, I'll just make you do a simple roll to answer your seeking of knowledge, but it is entirely up to yourselves.
I will probably at some point update Drea with the dream that he had, because he can't hold his own water.
Oi! Kiss comedy.
I didn't even get that one. Water puns. He'll probably also, when he gets over the weirdness of them being under the water but on a ship, will probably spend a fair amount of time out on the deck, kind of just enjoying being under the water, but having that view of it. And finally,
you get several requests during your on deck time for swordplay teachings. That's it.
Happy to.
Yeah, cool.
Happy to agree to that. And the other thing I was going to say was, if he ever has downtime at the same time the Peril Tiefling does, then he'll ask them if they would like to spar at some point.
Say that bit again. I missed that bit. Why can that? Who are you sparring with?
The Peril Tiefling.
Ah, yeah, Pearl Tiefling. Sorry. Seriously, them words did not register in my mind, and all I know.
It's cool. It's usually me that happens to.
Them
like
to spar, and I'm like, who the fuck is he sparring with? We'll come back to that. Just cool. We'll come back to that. Xandria?
I would like to, during the 2 weeks, I would like to try and commune with Malka to try and see if they have any idea how we can help their sister forest.
As in the spell commune?
No.
You're just gonna... Okay.
You know, wibbly...
Yeah, that's
bullshit.
cool. I'm alright with that. It's just because you said
so
the word commune, and I was like... Okay.
Yes, I have commune.
I don't know, it might be up there with Fireball. Yeah.
Surprisingly, commune is not in the warlock. It's not there.
Cool.
Are you really a warlock, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still a warlock. I haven't suddenly changed my class recently. So.
Alright, so
now.
We'll come back to you.
So yeah, I would like to try and connect with Malika to try and see if they have any words of wisdom, any advice, any help towards us helping out the Jezerit and the Copper Forest.
Give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Yep.
AD, I'm not sure if it's just our audio for you.
But
or
you're
if
super
it's close to the
quiet.
screen, but you are super quiet, my dude.
Super. I don't know why.
You are
really quiet.
so quiet.
I don't know why. Am I quiet on the stream, people?
Yeah, you might have switched mics, perhaps.
Nothing has changed on. No, not quiet on the stream. Volume's okay, just for you guys.
That's weird.
Yep.
What I'm hearing here is that we need to fundraise to get a smashing mic.
I'm not sure, like, if it's all right for them. Well, I'll take the fundraising. It must be.
Yeah, it's just gone super
Was
quiet.
it quiet? It wasn't quiet before the break.
No, it went
No.
quiet for a little bit, and then it went back loud again. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, has it switched somehow on your side? But
I don't know. There's nothing I've changed or altered. Am I still really quiet now? Can you
Yep.
hear me, or is it just super quiet?
Just about.
Just
We
about
can hear
here.
you. Just need to focus.
Oh, let me try.
Well, I'm sure if it's fine for everyone at home, I'm sure we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because even the Zoom's on full. Yeah, alright, cool. I'll just have to be really loud. 48-hour GoFundMe stream incoming. Suck my ass. Sawdust. Zandria, what did you get for your wisdom save?
I got a 24.
Cool.
I have wisdom out the wazoo, my dude.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, that was to Sean.
All right, Ari, what would you like to do with your 2 weeks?
Ari,
Drive the ship.
Drive the ship. Ari, I feel like Ari has not really been on a ship actually much,
But he's a pirate, right?
He's a sailor boy.
but he's a pirate, right?
He's a dock
He's a-
whore.
he's-
That's what he is.
Yeah, he's a sailor boy. He knows how to turn that wheel.
Of course he does.
Every port in every country, but never a ship.
Not actually on the ship. Just lots of nice stories about being a pirate.
Do you
might
plan
actually-
to do any Ari-esque things on the ship?
Do you plan to do any of the group?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a day or two.
It's a bit confined if it goes a bit wrong.
And I'm walking away from this one.
No, I think he might be trying to be good.
So what would you like to do with your 2 weeks, sorry?
He probably does actually want to kind of learn the ship bits and bobs sort of more. Kind of learning, like, because he probably quite enjoys driving the ship. But also, like, just sort of learning, like, how, like, to sort of climb the masts and do, like, the jobs, and trying to kind of maybe help the crew out as much as he can with his very little strength.
Okay, give me a... Give me a survival check with advantage.
Survival.
Yeah, she's
Good
definitely
lord.
charming enough to get the people to help you.
That was survival. That is a 15. So we
15.
have +0.
Cool. Sapphire,
Yeah.
what would you like to do with your
So-
2 weeks?
So he's probably going to start off by kind of semi-stalking the pale tiefling
Give me,
because he wants to know what the shit is going on there.
give me a
As far as he's concerned, tiefling was pinging a bit too much for his liking, so he's going to follow the pale tiefling for a bit.
Give me a perception check.
Just saying about the ship being too small, you can't get away from people.
14.
14. So the pearl tiefling appears to be popular, in the sense of there's no ill will towards anyone he bumps into, speaks to, etc. He holds a lot of conversations with Boulderback. They spend a lot of time together. They seem to be very... Boulderback seeks him out for advice. So they spend a lot of time in that capacity. Yeah, his other than the twin bladed, he just seems to be a tiefling among people on the ship. But obviously the twin blade is very obvious to yourself. But yeah, yeah, that's about it for that.
Yeah, I guess once he realizes that he seems to be pretty well thought of and stuff, he might actually try talking to him at some point.
Okay. When you say at some point in the 2 weeks, do you try and talk to the tiefling?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
after
I'm like,
probably after about a week of like following him and realizing, hey, he seems actually pretty all right. Then he'll talk to him.
Every now and then you just get the tiefling nod at you as if to be saying like, you following me? From one mast to another. Like a pink
That's that thing that cats do and the eyes just go really big and the tail swishes.
Totally not following you. Okay. So, Ari, you reckon over the 2 weeks that you, after about 4 days, the ship resurfaces well into the waters of the House of the Forged. You bastard, where are you?
Well into the waters of the House of the Forged.
Yeah, so you're well into the waters, well into the waters of the House of the Forged. The sounds of wind and creaking sails, etc., return. Sapphire's a little bit less flat-eared. The crew, dwarfs, everyone does seem to take the first day that you surface a very long, deep breath, and you are now up on the waves, hearing the sounds of the sea all around you. During your 2 weeks, Ari, you learn pretty much all the basics you could learn about a ship. There is enough crew and experience on here that rocking around, using your charms, you are more than capable of picking up all the Billy basics, which is still impressive, but it is just the basics of ship work, whether it be sailing it, the sails, the way to navigate, starboard, port, hull, you know, all the terminology, you pick it up, and there's quite an impressive feel about it amongst the dwarves and a few of the other dock sailors. Bloody noisy birds in the sky. Might need to turn that down, bastards. And yeah, you're pretty well chuffed with your learnings. We'll do you first, Sapphire. So Sapphire, you about a week in, you've potted around, keeping an eye on this tiefling, and you feel comfortable enough to approach. He is sat in the canteen eating a very large bowl of oats, and there's quite a lot of fruit around the side of it. No weapon on him, and you sit opposite him, or wherever you wish to sit.
Yeah, opposite sounds good. And I'll just sit down and I'll put my food over as well, and I'll just say quite calmly, "Hi there."
Hi there. Bored of following me?
Yeah, a little bit. You weren't as exciting as I was expecting you to be. He says, quite with a big smile on his face.
The one eyebrow raise, this that I can't do, but we'll role play it. Not a lot of places to go on here.
No, I know. I was just interested in you. I'm not very good at peopling, but you caught my eye before, and I was curious.
He looks across to you. Curiosity killed the cat.
People keep telling me that, and yet I'm here.
I take 9 attempts, I hear. So how can I help you? You want fruit?
No, I'm good. I've been eating pretty well. I was just... let me try this. Let's try this again. And he holds out his paw and goes, I'm Sapphire.
He grips your paw and matches it in size, but just hand. And there is a lot more, whereas you have a lot of dexterity to your physique and ability to be very athletic, there's a lot of brawn behind this handshake. Not deliberate, just natural. Tareen, a unit. My name is...
What a unit.
My name is Tareen, son of Garen, House of Rook.
Oh, interesting. It's good to meet you properly, Tareen.
Named after
I've
a
got
gemstone.
Me? Oh, kind of. I was actually named after the water where we were. My nickname growing up was Sapphire Waters. Cats are weird. It's how the Tabaxi name each other. We're more named after locations rather than given proper names.
Name's a name.
It works. You're not massively chatty, are you?
Only when I've got things to chat about. What do you want to chat about? Do you want me to be chatty?
Well, the thing that caught my eye about you, I've got to be honest, is your weapon.
How so?
It looks, well, familiar and not familiar at the same time. Whereabouts are you from?
I am from Karan, the city of Dragonborn, known to you.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. What brings you to this part of the world?
Glory. My father is a highly reputable gentleman in Karan. I wish my own glory not to live in his shadow.
That is noble. That is very interesting. And how do you hope to do this?
I do not know. I travelled to the dynasty. I was gifted my weapon, that's where I got it from. And now I travel to Ravenholm and see what they have to offer. The House of Tor were very enticing. They are all about physical prowess, but from what I've seen, I'm not impressed. It's all magically brought upon them. Although they do have a captain I would like to face, one by the name of Berrimund. His reputation is strong.
And you wish to fight him?
Fight, arm wrestle, I'm easy. I have no desire to kill anyone or defeat anyone in fights. My name will make itself.
Okay, that's interesting. The weapon you were gifted, they're very, very rare.
I'm aware. Taking some.
Do to get
Tall
gifted? What did you do to get gifted such a thing?
I climbed a mountain.
For
The Flowers of Stone. Sapphire, give me a history check. As you are not a local, but you may know of it.
ooh. +0. That's a 16.
Okay. So,
Excited.
the Flowers of Stone are not native to Vaith. They are native to Savai, which is the country across from Viconia where you grew up here. But the Flowers of Stone are a flower where the petals change to match that of a gemstone.
Okay.
They are rare, highly regarded as not a delicacy in the way to eat it, but if you like they say, almost a status thing. Like if you are able to have one of these in your household or such, you'd expect to see it in a king, queen, an empire. You know, that those sort of whoever's in charge of
symbol.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a very, very highly looked upon status symbol. So yeah, so you are aware, and the only place you know of them in Vey are the 2 seconds. The mountains in Shindar Torchi.
Okay, cool. Do actually have that open.
Shindar Torchi is the realm of the dead.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So when he
That works
says,
for me.
I climbed a mountain,
Yep. Nope. Cool. That's fine. Like he'll keep being nice and stuff, but he's happy to like not be pushing anymore and just kind of let it go.
Cool.
For now, at least.
he offers you more fruit and drink as you sit and talk with him throughout your 2 weeks. And I will say that you build up a decent, like when he sees you on a morning or an evening or passing, he'll always talk to you in the sense of, hi Sapphire, how's your day, how you doing, like he will always instigate small talk with you. Yep. Kes, during your training time, you approach Tareen and offer up a spar.
Yep.
How do you wish to spar, with weapon or hand?
I would probably be better with weapons personally, but if you would rather go hand to hand, then it's always interesting to learn.
I am skilled in both, and you offered the request, so I would put it to you as which. If you wish a lesson in hand to hand, I can offer that. If you wish to test your metal, I can test.
Let's go with weapons. It'll be interesting.
First to land 2 blows, or 3 blows.
Best of 3.
Go, roll initiative.
No great, 13. Apparently he wasn't prepared for a fight for coming asking for a fight.
So,
Well done, Kes.
you
job.
make a bit of space on the deck, and Tareen brings out. He is not in any armor whatsoever, but he brings out his double-edged. So it looks like it's got a thick scimitar blade on each side. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He does a small, not a flashy spin with it, but just turns it into a thing and takes up a stance. And you take out your 2 scimitars. You instantly, because people are bored shitless on a 2-week sail, uninterrupted sparring match between someone they know to be shit hot and you. So, Tareen reacts quicker than you, just, and spins his first attack with a nat 1.
Wow, that's not so bad. I thought you were going to say nat 20 and does 7 billion damage. I was like, okay, I'll re-roll my new character. Thank you. This was fun.
His second attack is a 19.
Yep, that hits.
Bye, Becky.
And you see him spin. So the first one, the tip of the bottom part of the weapon scrapes into the wood, and just before people are about to laugh at the attack, he uses it to pivot forward and taps you and turns it at the last minute to hit you on the forehead with the flat of the blade. So that's 1 to him. And then as a bonus action, because of the weapon he's using, he can use it to do a secondary attack, very much like yourself. That's probably missed. 17.
Hit.
Hits.
Oh shit! I didn't know that hit. And so first one is a complete fudge up. Uses it to hit you with the second one, and then as he's sort of resetting himself, swaps hands and back slaps you with the blade across the shoulder.
Slap. Yeah. That's cool.
So it's, and then he just says, 2. Your turn.
From the sidelines, I just shout, "If you lose, I'm going to punch you."
Sandra's just looking around. Anyone want to be a brother? Anyone? Anyone?
Anyone want
Anyone want this one? Anyone? Anyone want him? I can get rid of him. I acquired him. I can get rid of him.
That is 23.
Oh shit, that is.
Cool. Next hit. We'll stay with this dice because this one doesn't hate me. Okay, that is that's a 17.
17 misses.
Lucky bastard! Look at him having actual armor. And that is a dirty 20.
Cool. So your first one, you clip him with your scimitar. The second one, as you spin it round, he just drops his shoulder and shifts, and you miss. But then you back slap him on the third one. That's 2 apiece. Do you say anything?
Cool. Nope.
Second round. So 6 seconds. You've gone slap, 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 slap. 16.
Hits. That's
Oh!
my armor class.
I don't. I thought it was 17. All right.
No, my armor's
Yeah.
only 16.
Nobody in this group has good armor.
Why would you?
Or they did,
What?
but they got sucked through a portal.
Oh yeah,
so...
yeah. Yeah, the glass wizard was not made of glass.
All of it with Delphi's like, yeah, so he's 29. Cool. He's gone. So, 6 seconds. Slap, slap, slap. Your exchange is beautiful to watch from the people watching. Just as you step back to reset, Tareen stabs forwards, and as you sort of breathe in, because it's a bit of a lethal blow, so you do this with your arms to like suck in your stomach, and he just brings the blade up and just hits your forearm, and just says 3, and he bows like full on, hands at his side, his head like in half, and then back up.
Have I ever encountered that social cue before?
Nope. There's obviously respect amongst you when you spar and stuff. The odd nod. Some of you are a bit more handshaky, or you know. But yeah, it's a long. You've never seen a long bow. Hit him again. Reaction, attack of opportunity, man.
No. He will attempt to try and to sort of mirror that, because obviously recognizes enough that it's a show of respect.
Yeah, it's a deliberate thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll attempt to kind of copy and thank him for that.
Are you requiring conversation with him, or are you done?
Not anything, would just have been small talk after
Cool.
that.
So,
just
during.
you fought well.
Oh, slap
Thank you
on
for
back.
handing matters to me so well.
There is a exchange of sparring hints and tips. He suggests the main one being tricking you into thinking it was a lethal blow, to then gave him the edge, etc. Use that going forward, and it's very. There's no animosity or ego in it. Throughout the rest of your time, people are now requesting teachings from you both, and you spend a bit of time going through manoeuvres with people. Tareen will show them some hand-to-hand stuff and weapon stuff. He doesn't allow anyone to use his weapon. He teaches them swords and staffs and other stuff. He seems to be quite well versed in weapons. You will teach people what you teach, and throughout that there is a rapport built up between you both, even though it is very small talky, because you both have a similar style of people skills.
None.
There is a
One half of a people skill. That's why you have a Zandria.
yeah,
Goodness
there
sake, she's
is-
the people one. Isn't
There-
that scary?
there is an element of a bond built. So that is your 2 weeks. Zandria, you on one of your evenings, the sun high in the sky, is a clear blue day, and you are toying with the idea of reaching out to Malachi. And you're like, fuck it, I'm Zandria. And you just take up a spot on deck away from people, and it's less of a meditative state and more of a... You get yourself in the same zone when you were speaking to Ari about the passing and the stories and the names to be remembered, and you get yourself in that zone, in that state of mind. You remember the writing the name, and you write Malika on a piece of parchment. You hold it tight and you release it to the winds. And as it releases to the winds, you see it fade into that same golden sand dust, as it were, as it goes out towards the seas, and you see a shape of, it looks like small bits of grass, then flower, then tree, then pools of water, and for a split second you see a silhouette of sand dust making out a very basic oasis in front of you, as it then fades and the sand hits the waters and disappears. And you're not there anymore. You are staring out at the waters, but you are not there anymore. And you just hear a very familiar voice. Beautiful Zandria, how are you?
I am as well as I can be.
It is so wonderful to see you again. It's been ever so long.
I apologise for not checking in at an earlier date, but things have been busy.
Good, good. Are you enjoying the glaive?
I am. It has served me well, and I hope that it continues to serve me well.
As do I, as do I. So, what can I do for you?
I am in a current situation with regards to the Jesuit and the Copper Forest. They are fighting a war against 3 of the houses of Ravenholm.
Oh dear.
These houses, they seem to wield a power, an item, something that is allowing them to slip into the Copper Forest and deal devastating amounts of damage. The Lancelord, whilst he may not come out and say it so abruptly, but he is potentially struggling to deal with the fight. And I fear that once things go into motion, that the Copper Forest may end up in a position that it cannot recover from. I am seeking you out for some wisdom. I am not entirely sure how I can help. Whilst I believe I have the ability to do so, I'm not 100% certain that that ability is enough. I'm not sure what my next play here should be, but I do not wish to see the Copper Forest and its inhabitants fall.
You are a child of summer. We never see our leaves fall. We never see them birth. We are the height of life. The autumn is the beginning at the end of life. The Jesuits. And there's a you can't hear anything, but you swear blind. Malika is smiling. Is as a leaf, and will fall from their tree, to be reborn when spring takes hold, and when winter is made sure that the falling of the leaf is completely gone. As you know, there is a cycle among our people. I do not have the wisdom you need for whether these people of Ravenholm entering the realms of the forest are part of the cycle or a jump start on the story of the Jesuits. Maybe it is their time to go, maybe it is the end of the Jesuits chapter. I do not know. And as for Kalain, mighty warrior he is, a story that will never be replicated. When Kalain's leaf falls from their tree and a new guardian is chosen to protect the forest, Kalain will never ever be forgotten. But I will say this, young summer breeze, child of summer, you took my power, you use it, you wield it, you have the glaive of summer itself. And there are people that threaten our people. And my wisdom to you is this. And there's a darkness around you, and you feel the sky less blue. You feel as if the shadows themselves press round. Kill them all, Summer Breeze. Kill them all. Everything disappears, and you're stood on the deck of the open whale, staring out to sea. And we'll end the session there, because it's 20 past 11, and we normally finish at 11. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've had a great time. I love my job. So cool to have so many people watching. Thank you for the raid, Trolls Medin. If any of you and yours are still about, thank you very much. I can see Angie Pops is still rocking around, so thank you. Please take care of yourselves. We'll back tomorrow with Masks RPG being run by Arcane, aka Rob. He's got a party. Mask is a superhero post-apocalyptic type game. I think he'll correct me on the show tomorrow. But tune in 8 o'clock tomorrow night for that on this channel, same back channel. Thursday we got Carbon, Saturday we got Pathfinder, Sunday we got more D&D with Darcy the Beholder, and then we're back Tuesday with session 19 for see where this lot's going, Fables Among Titans. So thank you very much for tuning in, take care of yourselves. Thank you to Ruffworx Creative for sponsorship and Ashana for sponsorship, and Bardic Inspiration, Sawdust Swearwords, etc, etc. We are, is Ashana on? Is she on?
She is still on.
We are going to raid Ashana now, because she's amazing, and I want you to give her all your love when you get there with a big, heavy weight in gravy time. So yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourselves, and for now, say goodbye, players.
Goodbye,
Bye,
players.